one of the things we've heard a little bit is developers getting worried about whether or not this kind of makes them redundant. You could have a copywriter or marketer just grab some code from somewhere, pop it into a visual editor, and just completely bypass the development portion of it. So that's something we obviously thought about. We've talked to people about. But maybe, from your point of views, why do developers not need to worry about Visual Editor taking their jobs? And why is it really a tool that's meant for both developers as well as non-developers to make collaboration easier?
Sure, I can jump in here. We've definitely heard from a few wary developers during beta and just initial customer calls. Not only are they scared about the messy code component, which we already discussed, but yeah, is this going to make their jobs redundant? And that is entirely not the case at all. Developers are tasked with like the critical task of building great bulletproof on-brand emails that deliver really important messages to subscribers. And most of the time, the emails they're building are reusing existing templates or bits of codes from previous emails that have been created. And the process is pretty manual and repetitive. It involves a lot of searching through files and copying and pasting code. It's honestly a pretty inefficient process. That's what we hear from a lot of our developers we talk to, and doesn't leave much room for them where their expertise lies, which is in driving innovation and conversions. So with a tool like Visual Editor, developers can empower non-coders on their team to utilize the carefully built templates that they've already created to build emails. It not only helps scale output, but it gives developers time to focus on more important things like creating new templates and updating existing ones, or keeping templates up to date, because God knows how often a new email client is introduced or updated, or a client drops support for something. It gives them time to create one-off creative builds for major campaigns like a product launch. And then it allows them to go deeper with testing, dynamic content, automation, all which really help drive conversion. So if anything, it elevates their job and definitely does not make it redundant. It should be an exciting tool for developers to use. And once developers started using it during the beta, the ones that were wary, I think that we won them over, which is exciting.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I mean, I can't tell you how many times talking with an email developer, Litmus customer, we'll hear things like, next year or next quarter, we're really trying to do more with, bringing interactive elements into our email, or doing more with dynamic content, or improving how we segment our customer lists. And these are the things that they always get pushed off. Everyone wants to be doing them, but the day-to-day always kind of sucks you back in. And we just think, that's the stuff that email developers really should be working on and doing to kind of really up level their email programs and drive more results for their organizations. And so, if we can kind of help them offload some of the more repetitive work that Lauren was talking about, that's our goal, really. I mean, it's to make them really make their value shine, rather than just kind of being on the production line of yet another kind of templated email.
Yeah, that's what I really like is, I feel bad that I don't do as much email development these days as I once did. But I remember having to do a lot of that just tedious stuff. Like it's copying and pasting from docs into your template. It's just making those really small adjustments that take a lot of time, and it's super time consuming, super tedious, and not fun to do from a development perspective. So I love this tool in that it frees developers from having to do that really tedious stuff, lets them focus on, one-off bespoke emails for special events, focusing on interactivity and all that kind of cool stuff that they would love to be able to do if they had time. It gives them that time now. One of the things I like too is that as, just a run-of-the-mill marketer, like copywriter, you can go into that template and test out your copy and stuff directly in that campaign, as opposed to writing it completely out of context of the design and the visual aspect of the campaign in like a Word doc or something like that. So you can really do a much better job of kind of tailoring your content to where it's actually going to be delivered.